You know what really hits different after a breakup? Not the silent treatment, not the cold shoulder, not the rebound flex on social media. No, what hits hard, what really makes them feel that loss 10 times over, is when you choose peace. When you glow up, not for revenge, not for attention, but for you. That's the kind of energy they'll feel long after the texts stop and the calls go unanswered. Because here's the truth. When someone loses access to your presence, your calm, your support, they might not realize it at first. But when you rise quietly, steadily, and unshaken, they'll feel it deeply. Why? Because you've become untouchable. And that's where mindful Stoicism comes in. See, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending you don't care. It's about owning your emotions, choosing not to let someone else's chaos disturb your peace. Breakups are fertile ground for drama, right? But when you don't take the bait, when you respond with grace, when you elevate without ego, that's power they can't ignore. And here's the kicker. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. To reclaim your space, to rebuild your self-worth on solid ground, not their validation. That's when they feel the weight of losing someone who chose growth over games. So, if you want to make a statement that echoes long after the goodbye, don't chase, don't react. Rise, quietly, consistently. Let your peace be the proof. Let's dig into how to do that without bitterness, without revenge, just pure, powerful self-mastery. Ready? All right, let's get into it. Because this isn't just about looking unbothered, it's about being unbothered. There's a difference. Anyone can fake a smile, post a highlight reel, act like they've moved on. But true strength, that comes from the inside out. And it starts with this. You stop giving them mental rent in your head. That's the Stoic move. Detachment. Not from life, not from love, but from what you can't control. You can't control how they feel about you now. You can't control if they regret it or not. But you can control your energy, your focus, your next step. That's where your power lives. Think of it like this. When you're obsessed with showing them you're better off, you're still handing them power. Stoicism flips that. It says, let them wonder, let them feel the absence. Meanwhile, I'm building, I'm healing, I'm leveling up, not to prove anything, but because I deserve that peace. And trust me, when you're really about it, when you're silent, but your life starts speaking volumes, that's when they feel it. Not because you threw shade, not because you posted cryptic quotes, but because your absence is loud, because you're not who you were when they left. You've evolved, calmly, mindfully. That's what they can't get back, the new you, who knows your worth and refuses to settle. And yeah, it might sting for them. But it's not about causing pain. It's about choosing freedom, about stepping out of their shadow and into your own light. So, let them feel it, not through noise, but through silence, strength, and serenity. That's Stoic. That's power. You ready to embody that? Let's keep going. Here's where it gets real. When you stop needing closure, that's when you start winning. Most people get stuck in this endless loop of, why did they do this? Or, what if I'd said that? But Stoicism teaches us something radical. You don't need their explanation to move on. You don't need their apology to find peace. You create your own closure, and that is a power move. Because think about it, when you detach from needing anything from them, they lose the ability to affect your state of mind. And that's when they feel it. The shift, the distance, the way you no longer orbit around their world. You've stepped into your own. And while they might expect the tears, the angry texts, the "I miss you" messages, all they get is silence. Not the cold kind, but the calm kind. The kind that says, "I'm good, I'm healing, I'm free." That silence, it's loud. It speaks volumes. It shows them you're not waiting around. You're moving forward, upward, inward. See, when you take that heartbreak and turn it into fuel, when you build routines that center you, when you find joy in your own company, they'll notice. Not because you're trying to prove anything, but because your energy has changed. You've outgrown the version of yourself that needed their attention to feel worthy. Let that be the message they receive, not through words, but through your actions, your peace, your quiet confidence. That's how you turn the pain into power, not for revenge, but for rebirth. Let them feel the absence of the old you, while you thrive as the new one. Here's where it gets powerful. You stop needing closure from them. You stop waiting for that apology, that explanation, that "I messed up" moment that may never come. Because when you've mastered your response, when you've chosen to rise above instead of sink into the drama, you realize closure isn't something they give you. It's something you create for yourself. Think about it. How many people stay stuck, spinning in circles, rereading old messages, dissecting every word, hoping to find meaning where there's just noise? But you're different now. You don't need to make sense of their choices. You just need to make peace with yours. That's the Stoic path. Control what's yours, let go of what's not. And the wild thing? That unbothered energy, it's magnetic. When you stop chasing validation, when you step fully into your power, you draw in everything meant for you. Opportunities, growth, people who see your value without needing to be convinced. Meanwhile, the one who let you go, they start to feel it. Not because you posted some cryptic quote or made some flashy move. No, they feel it in the silence, in your absence, in the way you carry yourself calm, grounded, thriving. This is the kind of comeback that doesn't scream for attention. It whispers, "I'm good, I'm better." And that whisper echoes. It sticks. Not out of spite, but because truth always lands. So, if you've been wondering how to make them feel that breakup 10 times harder, don't look back. Don't reach out. Don't try to prove anything. Just live so well, with so much intention and peace, that your existence becomes the lesson they never forget. Stay steady, stay rising. You've got this. Here's the part they never see coming, when you stop caring whether they notice your growth at all. That's the real plot twist, because now it's not about them anymore. It's about you, fully, completely. When you detach from their opinion, from needing them to feel anything, you take back every ounce of power you once gave away. And that's where Stoic wisdom shines. Marcus Aurelius said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Let that sink in. When you stop living for their reaction, you start living in alignment with your values, your peace, your growth. The truth is, the ultimate flex isn't found in proving your worth to someone who walked away. It's found in realizing you never had to prove anything at all. Your value isn't up for debate. And when you start showing up for yourself, not to make them jealous, not to spark regret, but simply because you deserve it, that's when they really feel the loss. Because what they thought was temporary space becomes permanent distance. They don't get access to this new version of you, not because you're bitter, but because you're better. You've outgrown the old dynamic, the old patterns, the old need for closure. Your healing has become its own kind of closure. So keep showing up. Keep building quietly. Let your life reflect the peace you've earned, not the chaos you left behind. That's not just moving on, that's rising above. And when you do that, trust me, they'll feel it 10 times over. So here's the truth. When you stop chasing, stop explaining, stop reacting, you shift the entire dynamic. You stop playing their game and start building your life. That's when they feel it. Not in the heat of an argument, not in the sting of a bitter goodbye, but in the stillness that follows, in the space where your presence used to be. And here's the beautiful part. You didn't have to prove them wrong, or make them jealous, or win the breakup. You just had to choose yourself, fully, unapologetically, and mindfully. That's what Stoicism gives you. It's not about being cold, it's about being centered. It's about knowing that your value doesn't depend on anyone else's recognition. It comes from within, and once you tap into that, no one can take it from you. Let them feel the loss, not because you're bitter, but because you healed. Because you grew in silence, because you turned pain into power without needing an audience. That's the kind of strength that lingers. That's the kind of presence that's felt long after you've walked away. So don't look back. Stay steady. Stay mindful. Keep choosing peace over pettiness, growth over grudges. You're not just moving on, you're moving up. And believe me, they will feel that 10 times harder.